Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 3 of my Desynced tutorial series. Today, it's all about upscaling and expanding. We got so many things to do and all of them at once that things are a little bit complicated at this point, but we're gonna get everything sorted out. So the first thing that I want to do for today is I want to set up a autonomous collection of silica sand, or, well, semi-autonomous, because we cannot really automate it yet. So what I'm going to do now is those miners that we got, we're going to attach their storing behavior to our silica or silicon factory. There we go. And this little guy here is going to be the protector. So we're going to set up a go-to to this little guy. So wherever this guy goes, his little friend will follow. So we're going to go and get these mining bots onto a hotkey. So I press Control, left control that is, and one RTS veterans know this combination, I guess. So whenever we now press 1, you have an icon now here too. We have now control over our little mining robots. Now we're going to send these guys all over the place, and we're going to harvest those trees wherever we find them. The outcome, or the product of these, will then be stored in our silicon factory, and this is a nice start for us. I want that silicon so badly out of two reasons. For one, I'll require it for the next technology quite badly, because we will require 20 silicon, but also we will produce wires, and these require silica sand as well, and wires will be a very, very big part of our industry. Let's call it just like that. Now, next step that we got to take, we have to get ourselves those robotics assemblers outsourced. I don't want to have the burden of these here in my main factory. Therefore, we're going to set up two medium-sized structures. This will take quite some toll on our reinforced plates, but the whole plan right now is to upscale my production anyways. We need more of everything, but to achieve that, well, the easiest way to do this in the first place will be to produce more robots and more metal, because that's where we are lacking. So today's episode will be a lot about how to get your expansion done in a way that you're not shooting your own foot at the same time, because that can happen quite easily. So, we're putting that robotics assembler in here, and this little guy is now going to produce us some energized plates. We require, well, I'd say 10 of them. Well, definitely. So, and this little guy here will get us the other things up and running. So, we will now need more of these metal bar producers. So I took the liberty of adding blueprints for these, small foundry and small plates, as like the names imply. So we're going to go and expand our production here. So here we go. Holding down left shift for multiple selection. And of course, we will require new fabricators for that endeavor. This is all putting quite a strain on our metal bar production. Therefore, I'm going to put a temporary shutdown on my metal plates, so our metal bars can be exclusively used for the upcoming projects. Very important for the time being, although we do require this production rather sooner than later back. But until then, well, it's a nice way to make sure that the metal bars land where you want them, because setting up priorities is right now a little bit hard. I mean, you can call these out to be high priority construction sites. That does help though. But during the very early stages of the game, I made the experience that it really pays off to shut down temporarily parts of your production that aren't too important or anything like that, to make sure that everybody receives what they require. So, our friends here are now not really too busy anymore. So we're going to send them out for the next trees. You got to select that manually. Their auto detection range is rather low, but I don't mind. This way we won't have them in trouble all the time, you know. I'd rather take it this way around. Now, we got ourselves already 3 of these energized plates produced. That's very good, because we require more dashbots. So these guys are made out of these energized plates and circuits. So you already see that what we're doing here is putting everything on a high strain. Everything is being on strain right now. Most of our materials are very, very low already, but that's okay. This is the pain that you have to get through. And at the beginning, it is very, very important that you get your priorities straight. Oh yeah, we can temporarily put that wind turbine in here that we discovered while exploring lately. So, we will also require a small power field rather sooner than later. These guys are basically power poles. Let's call them by the name that they deserve. They are power poles. They expand the power grid. If you press P, you can see how your power grid is distributed. It's quite easy. Where there's this lightning symbol, your robots can recharge their batteries. Where there's not, they can't. And robots that are out of power ultimately will shut down after a while. Or they'll move very, very slowly before they do, but either way, you don't want your robots to run dry. That's just something you don't want to have happening. Okay, I'm going to cancel this production here for the time being, because I want those reinforced plates for other projects available. We're also going to require new mining machines, or new mining lasers. So we have put up 3 new machines. Each one of these requires 1.5 mining modules. So that means we put up the need for 4.5 new mining modules. Right now, we have those laser mining tools running, which are basically 2 mining tools. So we have 2, 2, and 1, making a total of 5 mining lasers. So we require 4 more. This type of calculation and ratioing is very important, actually not that hard, because the game gives you the tools you require. So we need to put up the necessary machines on these guys, and now we make sure that the settings are right, you know? Remember those logistics settings? We just press C for copying and V to make sure that these guys are on the job. And they inherited also the mining job from that worker, and that's pretty okay for me, because we required a new mining machine anyways, and now pressing V gets us where we needed or wanted. Okay, I'll require, like I have calculated, not 3 mining machines, but 4, so let's produce 1 more. This little thing here, by the way, is the rally point. You left click it, drag and drop it, and then you can put down your units where you want them. Good. That small power field is very, very important, because we will use it in several different ways. It's also going to be the foundation of self-powering robot fleets, but that's something for the future. Okay, we got this and we got that. What we now require is a power-up in the other areas. I want more of these metal plates, because, you know, these are the next part in my production. So we're doubling up the production here as well. So we do require 2 more fabricators. Later down the road, we will have dedicated producers for these things, like we have it here, like a machine that only produces fabricators and the like. But we have to get there first. Also, very important, from time to time, slap down a new solar farm. You really do require them. It's mandatory to have them. So, we got mining machine number 4 up and running, so we can now get this guy. We're getting 1 set of orders here, and now That's that. We got now all the necessary metal that we require. Also, our little friends here have almost gathered up all the silicon that we need for the next technology. Ain't that nice? So I'm so keen for that next technology because we're going to get those twin bots. They are the best robots for everything in the early game. It'll take a while until you get something better. They are well, I'm going to show you the that when it's time for that, but they're really overall better than their predecessors. So that's why I'm so eager to get that technology. Okay, what we now do require as well are two new machines for circuit boards and reinforced plates because we need to upscale in these departments as well. And then I think we are ready for the things to come. What I want to set up and running in between it are also a couple of battery houses, because here's the deal with solar power. It's making it a little bit more finicky than wind power. So the thing is, you not only produce power only by day, by night, you draw your power only out of these little guys. Not only do you have to increase your total amount of stored power while your power network grows, because, you know, if you use more power, then you need more power. But there's also the problem that these guys also have a drain rate. That means that's the amount of energy they can provide per second. That also means the more power you need, the more batteries you'll need, because otherwise you won't get enough power per second. So solar power has its flaws. Not gonna lie, I think it really is a little bit more maintenance heavy than the power production via wind is, because wind is constant. So if this is all too finicky for you and you hate it already, then rest assured the easy solution is just to rush towards expanded power. But the problem with expanded power is a wind turbine does require wires, and wires are behind the robotics production. So either way, it's not worth it to go for expanded power first, because you won't be able to build those guys anyways, sadly. But the expanded power technology also gives you medium capacitors, which are much better than everything we had before. So it ain't totally worthless to rush that technology first, but I basically always regretted it when I did it, because I felt like, man, I wish I would have had the wires first. That's just my general feeling. So we have to go further and further for new trees, because we practically have harvested most of them. That's good. It's a good sign. We also have the 20 silicon we require for the technology. That's also really good. That's also me putting this off now, because you know, for wires we do require that silica sand unrefined, and I don't want to steal it from myself. Here we go. Okay, so we got the fabricators, or the assemblers. Wonderful. So now we can amp up our productions here, and at the same time I'm going to order me a couple of new batteries, because I want to expand my power production. It's really important that you keep this up, or you don't and you invest harder into wind power, then you can just delay that. It's up to you. The wonderful part about Desynced is that there's so many different ways of getting the job done. I only want to give you a bit of a impression of how you can do things and how to process through the problems of the early game. So pressing C and V here to copy those settings, and we're getting through this, aren't we? Good. So with that extra production of everything, we should be able to get ourselves the energized plates we require for the tech. So I'm getting 10 ordered here and 10 ordered here. There we go. That's that. So let's go. We're going to order our mining robots now a little bit further away, but soon we're going to send them to a proper mining location. Because we have some bodyguards, it's okay. And we're also going to go now, and I want to show you what these how we can use those power poles. So we're going to put up a power pole back here. Just have to make sure that it's in the vicinity of this beauty here. And as you see here, we can't build here at all. It's because we're too far away from our site. You see that ring of darkness here? That's where we have to work ourselves to. So you can now decide for yourself if you want to put up a seamless network of power poles, or if you just want to keep it at the bare minimum. It's up to you. So, did I put up the batteries? Yes. Good. There we go. The problem of the site down here is that it doesn't have access to power, and that means my robots will run out of power if they work too long there, and this becomes exceptionally problematic when there's enemies around, because they'll just eat my robots then when they're powered down. So we're going to expand our power network now. I am not willing to set up a proper mall, so to say, you know. What I did here, we could expand on that. I could link these guys to their storage units, so they'd be putting their, so they'd be producing more solar cells and everything. I could be expanding my entire operations here crazily, but, you know, it comes with the problem that I still don't have the resource to tackle it. And I'm unwilling to build too many dashbots when these dashbots will get replaced in a couple of hours. That's just me. I'll leave that decision up to you. You can also build a crazy amount of dashbots, but the big advantage of the TwinBot will be that it has room for 2 small modules. That means this thing can fit 2 mining lasers at once, and you will notice the difference. You will totally notice the difference. Alright, so our brave mining machines are now actually going for the way home. And as you see here, this is what happens when they run out of power. They don't shut down completely, they just go very, very slow. But at least we got enough silica sand to get us through the worst of the intro of building up new robots. Wonderful. Good, so we got also the power poles up and running. Now we can set up a grid down there. There we go. This is useful in many ways, as you will need more and more power supply throughout the entire run. Okay, so my little guys here, I don't want them on the silica duty anymore. So we're going to utilize them differently now. We're going to tell them to drop off their stuff over here. And we're going to send them now on scattered resource collection. Because, you know, there's just... Wait a sec. Oh, I did a mistake. I sent them all. Of course, I only want those 2. We just don't have enough crystal here, but sadly, okay, I was hoping they would be easily automatable, but they're not. Of course, you can order them to pick up scattered resources for you, but that's not as fast as I'd like it to be for now. I just noticed that my crystals are going a little bit low, and I personally do love it to have a little bit of a fleet of people down here that get their job done, or get those little errands done. That's what I'm trying to say. That come up over the course of the time while we're expanding our power network. There we go. So we're really close to getting that. That's good. So, by the way, unwanted buildings can get removed with the deconstructor component. This is something that is also very, very important, and we're going to set up one soon. Alright, let's put up the uplink so we can start the research of the robotics. We also desperately need more logistics robots, because it's clear that currently those guys that we got are really strained out with their jobs already. But, you know, it's a hard knock life, and it is as it is. With these scattered resources here, we're going to have a really good piece of progress. By the way, you can also totally plunder those explorables way harder than I do. You will find many, many modules there, and it is a nice boost to your expansion. I'm personally just coming from Factorio, where you have to build up everything yourself, and I'm not accustomed yet to this well, let's call it loot-based playstyle, and therefore, well, you can use that as well as a ways and means to get your resources, your hunger for resources fed. What I'm trying to say. Good. As you notice here, the power poles are being set up here, and the most wonderful part is we almost have our defensive thing here already done. We're going to set up small turrets now. So these turrets will then defend our premises down here, of course. There we go. And now we're going to build a storage block down here. Let's see. Yeah, we got power expansion where we actually need it. Beautiful. Sadly, I don't have any slots currently open for the second uplink, but, well, it is as it is. We have produced all the energized plates required for that. I'm really happy about that. But we're going to go into permanent production of these now on this factory, because we will need so many more of these, and this is just something I delayed a bit until I had all the resources for the robotics production technology together, but now I do, so I can now do this. Alright, we have almost everything together for the silica sand automation. Wonderful. So what we're going to do next is we're going to set up some defenses. I'm going to go for these very small ones. Here we go. And these will receive the turrets that we just produced. Just basic security things. Okay, now let's get our little robots over here. Mr. Guardbot now can have whatever he wants. I'm going to put him now on the new Control 1 shortcut, overriding the old group. And this little soul robot is everything we have. Because those turrets, they will defend this base here just fine. Okay, so we're going to delete their drop-off points, because we got a new one. That's going to be this one here. There we go. I'm not going to start producing the silica sand before these buildings are set up, because I don't want to have any accidents here. Well, you know what? We're going to send Guardbot down here. So this is a little bit much effort for just a small silica sand vein, but you might already have noticed the huge amounts of crystal chunks here, so I figured it will be a outpost for the crystal stuff later. That's totally fine for me. So, and here you can already notice that logistics are at their high-end strain, you know. They're just not happy with the pressure that I put up. Okay, at this point I can also put up the second uplink. Wonderful. And I'm gonna be putting up this second building here, just as something where I'll be manufacturing dits and dats, you know. Okay, so turret 1, turret 2. There we go. So we're going to utilize this storage block now for silica sand. I want to showcase a nice little thing that you can do. So these little miners here, their drop-off point is this warehouse here. And we're now going to get this guy, store stuff here, and we're going to set up go-to there. So this guy has now the exclusive job to carry things from here to there and nothing else. This is insofar interesting as you can see that this guy is dislodged from logistics network, which means he's not going to pick up all those wild jobs that are slowing down all the other logistics robots. Instead, he is autonomous and he's just gonna be moving silica sand to the main base. End of the story. And sometimes it can be very, very desirable to have specialists like these, because otherwise, you know, it can be just a little bit problematic to get everything done. Sometimes it is much more effective to just dump one robot at a crucial job rather than just pumping up more general logistics robots that are trying to get this job done, if you get my idea here. Okay, so we successfully expanded here. Isn't that nice? Really happy with how that went down today. This technology is almost researched, and that's very, very good to see, because that means we are now almost ready to get into the next age, so to say. Gateway technology is the last technology of this tree, and now we have all the tools that we require. We will now set up factory for wires, of course. Going to do that here in the old building. And now we can fabricate these wonderful twin bots. So let's give you the look here. So twin bots have triple the durability of a dashbot, one more module there, double the storage, and they require 33% less power. What's not to like? They are just you know, just a better version of the old ones, but they are also almost 10 times as costly, so that's where you have your downsides. But at the end of the day, we are getting closer and closer to the point where we can afford these, and I'm personally just, and that's maybe a bit of a, well, how to put it, of a lifestyle preference. I rather wait longer for a high quality fleet of robots, and as you see here, those little guys, they ran out of power. I rather wait for a larger fleet of high quality robots rather than having a fleet full of crap robots that I have to replace, because right now I already have enough robots that I got to replace. Speaking about that, I want to put up a one of these guys for demonstrational tasks, but well, maybe not. All right. Yeah, we're going to give one of those courier dashbots the deconstructor. So the deconstructor is a very important little thing that allows you to deconstruct things. It's very simple. You just point at something that you want to deconstruct, and then this thing does the job. So, as you see there. Yep, sorry, here. Just have to aim at something. They can deconstruct buildings and robots alike, and the best part about it is they will do that without any losses. Here we have the same issue. Our robots are slowly running out of the power grid, and as you see, those power poles, they are just that useful. They never grow old. Yeah. Okay, so it'll take a while until the first twin bots are done, but now we got the all the basics set up and running. You can use the setup here for, of course, also more dangerous spots. And the next things that we have to go for, or will go for, are the, let's call it, more complicated things, and upscaling here accordingly. So I hope you found that helpful and entertaining. I leave this episode with this here at the end. Next time we are going to go and see what we can do. I want to explore also things like the nanobots and expanded power a little bit, because I also want to introduce to you the option that you just have a fleet of robots that power themselves and wonderful other things. Thanks for watching, everybody. Drop me your comments down below. Leave me your thumbs up if you appreciate it, and consider subscribing. I'd be delighted to have you. Also, feel free to check out Patreon, PayPal, or Buy Me a Coffee. As a free content creator, I can use all the help that I can get, and I'd be really, really happy if you'd give them a look. Also, I have a link to the Discord community of mine, so if you want to have a chat with me or other like-minded gamers, you're more than welcome. So, see you guys next time, and have a good one.